are sizzling. I'm going to show you what they look like when they're translucent and ready, okay?
Hi, I have a question. Are we supposed to use yellow lentils or red lentils?
You have green lentils. So they look like this. Red lentils mush out really fast. I wouldn't use those.
I have yellow, red, and orange. Yellow and orange.
Yellow and orange. Do you want to do a substitution? You have brown rice.
Sorry?
Do you have brown rice?
No, I don't have brown rice.
What other
What
colors?
kind of greens do you have?
I'm Anita, by the way.
Hi, Anita.
Hi, I'm Boosie's friend.
Okay, so here in the recipe, for the lentils, if you don't have stuff for a whole grain, do you have farro, barley, or anything like that? Any kind of grain?
Okay, let me look.
I would look because the red
I have
lentils,
brown lentils.
yes, those are,
Brown?
that's what we need.
Oh,
Brown or green, they're fine, yeah, but not the red ones.
okay.
Okay, no red.
Yeah.
Green.
Oh, are they? Oh,
They're green.
okay. I guess I
Yes.
do have.
Yes, yes. Woo, thank the Lord.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Irene. Anita, sorry. Anita. Okay, anybody have any more questions? I did not go over that, and I'm very sorry, but it was here. If you don't have garbanzo beans, use cannellini or white beans. Those seem to work fine as well in the soup, okay? Okay, I'm turning down my stove because I got carried away. Okay, there you go. So that's what my onions look like. They started to sweat. They start to sweat is when they start to give off steam. This is when we're gonna add our carrots. Right now. I cut my carrots really big.
Pam, I don't have lentils. I'm sorry.
You don't have lentils. Do you have any grains?
Brown rice.
So brown rice.
I have brown rice. Yes.
You
I have brown rice.
Can you put in a cup of brown rice when we call for lentils?
Yes.
Just wash your
absolutely.
brown rice, and you're gonna put your lentils in at the same time.
And then
Okay.
if
Okay,
the
Sunny.
lentils are red or not, plain.
Okay,
cut it
hang
out.
on. I'm putting in my celery, okay? And then I'm gonna show you what red lentils look like, okay? Versus green.
Give me Homer.
Okay. Red lentils. Do you see the color? Color. They're red. They're like orangish, okay?
Sam, it's Melody. I only have canned lentils.
Oh, great. Don't put them in until the very end, okay?
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay, hang on to them. And if you want to add quinoa instead, cook your quinoa on the side and then add it at the very end. Good question. Okay, back to mute. All righty. Stirring my little vegetable mixture here.
Maybe I can try to bring this over.
You can move it. If we move it, it might be a little jerky. So that's the
Let's
only
give it a
reason why.
go.
Yeah? So I was moving this camera a little bit to see if we could get closer to the pot. Hang on.
And then will you bring the pot a little further away towards you?
Can you see?
Go. Got it.
I gotta figure out how to do the two camera thing here. So is everyone following along? Any more questions? Okay. Just send them in or raise your hand and unmute and talk, okay? So far, this is pretty good. No one's interrupting anyone. I think it's working really well. I'm super pleased. So we're gonna cook that for 5 minutes and then we're gonna add in our spices. I didn't talk about harissa and I wanna do that. Let me grab mine from the fridge because I forgot to get that out. We have Trader Joe's harissa. Has anyone seen this? And harissa is just chili peppers from the Middle East. So this is what they use, but it's a mixture. It's garlic, salt, coriander, and their chopped chili peppers. At home, I said to use just red chili pepper flakes, which let me get from my spice drawer. Right here, the ones like these, okay? So they're just pepper flakes. And if you don't have them, don't worry about it. If you don't want to use harissa, if you don't want to add spice, never mind, it's okay. I'm okay with that, okay? Hang on. I'm just trying to see some more faces and see how everyone's doing. There we go. Alrighty, so we'll be adding some of this in. So turning our carrots and celery and onions over here. This is so much fun. I'm in my happy place. Oh, I'm cooking. Okay, also, while that just cooks a little bit, I wanted to explain to you this. This is vegetable broth, okay? And I like to use better than bouillon, vegetable broth. And I'll show you what that looks like just for future. If you go back out and if you ever go back out to the grocery store and remember and need stuff, I like to use this better than bouillon because it's really adjustable. You can make it as salty as you like or not, and instead of buying the canned or boxed stocks or bouillon cubes. It's a little bit better. Is this being cooked on medium? Yes, it is medium, and it's actually like, it's a full medium. It's not even medium low. You could hear it, I don't know if you could hear it sizzling, but it's sizzling a little bit. So what we're gonna do right now is add in my turmeric ginger spice. Hold on 1 second. I'm putting in a teaspoon of this, and I'm just gonna use a spoon and measure it. And because I like spice, I always put extra. That's about what we need. If you have a teaspoon measure, go ahead and use that. And then I have my Moroccan spice right here.
Did you say a teaspoon or a tablespoon?
Teaspoon. Teaspoon of turmeric and a tablespoon. What do I have here? Oh, I have a tablespoon in my recipe. Whoops. But I put about a tablespoon. So put about a tablespoon in your recipe. And then 2 of the Moroccan spice, okay? 2. There we go. So if you have turmeric at home, plain turmeric, just add about a teaspoon of turmeric, plain turmeric. And if you don't have Moroccan spice, use a tablespoon of coriander and a teaspoon of cumin, okay? So that's 3 things. If you don't have these 2 spices, use a teaspoon of straight turmeric, a tablespoon of coriander, and a teaspoon of cumin. Okay? Did everybody get that? Okay, wonderful. So that's where we are with that. And then we want to stir it up, okay? You're going to smell really fragrant.
Go ahead.
Hey, can you say it one more time?
Sure.
A teaspoon of turmeric.
If you don't have turmeric ginger spice, use a teaspoon of turmeric right now into your celery, onion, and carrot mixture. For the Moroccan spice, the substitute is 1 tablespoon of coriander and 1 teaspoon of cumin. Ground, okay? Not the seeds.
Okay.
Got it, Pam?
Yeah, I got it. Thank you.
Okay. So, smells super in here. I don't know about you.
Maria Keisha says it smells delicious.
Woo! Can you plug this in? All right, so here's a plug right here. So the next thing we're going to do is add in our harissa, okay? I think that a tablespoon of harissa or less if you're going to do it, okay? And put put literally a teaspoon of your teaspoon of chili peppers, and even that might be too much if you don't like spice, so you might want to half it. So I'll leave that up to you totally, okay? Okay, hang on, I'm gonna stir it and show you what mine looks like, okay? Okay, like that. Okay, I don't know if you can see, but there it is. Really nice, and it's on medium right now. Now, immediately what I want to do is take your already measured out or your cup or your can of canned tomatoes, and I want to add that in. Okay? Stir it up. You want to add your chickpeas next. You want to do all of this pretty quickly, okay? Then we're going to add the stock after. So there are my chickpeas. I want to stir it up. Stir it up. Okay, looking really good. I do see so. And then you're going to put in your lentils, and we're going to put in our stock, okay? So here's my lentils right here. Just put it right in. Brown lentils, green lentils, not red
Yeah.
lentils.
Sam, it's Melody. Did you put the broth in already?
No, I'm getting ready to.
Okay.
Put in the tomatoes, the lentils, and the chickpeas. And just stir it all up, and then you're gonna put in your broth, okay? Gonna get everything covered with the sauce and the spices first. Everybody okay with this so far?
Did you strain the chickpeas, the can of chickpeas?
Yes, I drained out most of the water, okay? Then 7 cups of vegetable stock goes right in. Ready? Wonderful. Okay.
And for if someone's using quinoa, wait on the quinoa until the end.
Yes, now is not the time. So quinoa, I would cook your quinoa on the side, and we'll put it in at the very end, okay? The reason I say that is quinoa tends to expand and mush out if it's overcooked. So just to be safe, I would do that on the side. If you have pre-cooked lentils, I would wait until the end and drop those in. If you are you could even do that with rice or any other grain if you want to just cook it on the side and do that. But the lentils are perfect in here, okay? I'm going to show you what I look like right now in the pot. See? 7 cups, okay? So everything is completely covered. And then we're gonna just raise your stove to a little higher, medium high, and we'll let it boil, and then we'll put the top on, okay? The only thing left to add to the soup is basically salt and pepper and our greens, okay? We'll add cilantro, a lot of the cilantro and the parsley at the end. I like to add the fresh greens at the end because they keep their color. So we'll do that next. But everybody should be bringing their pot to a boil right now, okay? I'm just gonna tidy up my area just a little bit and take questions.
I put in the canned lentils.
Okay, what was that?
The canned lentils, do they go in now?
No, because they're already cooked. So we're gonna put those in at the very end. Drain them, okay? What I would do right now is get a strainer, put it over a bowl, and drain those lentils and give it a good shake in the strainer so that no liquid gets into your stock at the end, into your soup at the end, okay?
Okay.
Good so far? Anyone else?
Sam, did you put in the ginger, the turmeric ginger in already? I might have missed that.
Yes, I put in the turmeric ginger earlier So when we were sauteing the onions,
I
carrots,
missed it. Mhm.
yeah, so now just go ahead and get it in there. So 1 teaspoon of turmeric, if you don't have the turmeric ginger spice, and then 1 tablespoon of coriander and
Okay.
1 teaspoon of cumin.
Perfect. Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
do that now, Robin.
Okay.
Okay,
I don't have any coriander. What should I use in place of that? I got the turmeric, the cumin.
just use your cumin. You're gonna omit, you can do without, okay? So
Okay.
you're gonna do cumin, okay?
Thank
So
you.
2 teaspoons, and if you wanna add a little extra cumin, your
Okay.
choice, okay?
Great, thanks.
All right.
Hi, Sam.
Oh, sorry.
Hi.
Hi, I got a quick question. It's Margaret. I love that bouillon option. Can you give me an idea of what the shelf life is on that, the better than bouillon that you recommended?
Okay, better than bouillon, if it's in your fridge, I swear will last a year.
Fantastic. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you for everything.
Thank you, Margaret.
Say something.
Any
Do
other-
we add any salt or later?
Don't add your salt yet. Your
Okay.
broth is gonna have a little bit of salt, okay? So just
Okay.
hold off on that and we'll
Hold
do
on.
salt to taste at the end.
What about the celery? Do we add that yet?
Oh, Christine, hi, dear. We added that a long time ago. So
Oh.
you're gonna do that now, okay?
Is that how
Put
you
it right in. And Pam, you had a question?
Oh, I was just saying, how do you say that?
Do you John mute it?
Yeah.
Hang
Pardon? I can hear you.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to type it. I was just going to tell her that Costco sells better than bouillon.
Oh, yes, it does in the gigantic size containers. So, yes. And I go through it quite a bit, so I don't mind buying a big container of it.
Me too. Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Great. Okay, more questions?
Do you want me to take those?
Oh, yeah. So clean up. So get your workspace all cleaned up because we're going to, while that cooks, we're going to prepare our next, we're going to get our next recipe going.
Pam, this is Robin. I was going to tell you that I went to Trader Joe's because I thought your spices were there and they weren't there.
No, they're not in Trader Joe's. They're in Jimbo's and Seaside Market.
Okay.
And they're in Ocean Beach Co-op, and that's just in our area.
I'll just come over and buy them from you.
That's fine. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so let's see. Some people I can't see your faces. And
a lot of kitchens.
I see a lot of kitchens. Wendy, I don't think I've ever met you. Wendy Shawn. Nice to meet you. I have Cindy Bernstein. I see Sagan. That's my little baby. Hi, Sagan. And let's see. I had my mom on here too somewhere.
Grandma's there.
She's here. And so I know we're all getting used to Zoom and this whole thing with Zoom, but as long as you try ahead of time, it's not so stressful getting on at the appropriate time. So we're gonna save these and we're gonna chop them together at the end. And we're also at the end going to beat our egg, and we are gonna add our 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Remember I said start with 2 tablespoons and mix it in with our flour into our beaten egg and add it into our soup. Okay, so we're gonna do that at the very end. We're gonna time ourselves for 25 minutes once it starts to boil, okay? And then we're gonna work on our turmeric ginger elixir, which is so much fun and really appropriate during this time. I was making this long before we had such a need for it with the coronavirus. So it's nice to be able to use it. And then in my last cooking class, I actually made a cocktail with it, which I gave you the recipe, which is blood orange with the turmeric ginger elixir, gin, and sparkling water. And it was called a turmeric ginger fizz. And it was simply amazing. So there's lots of little uses for it. That's really great. And so we're going to get onto that in a minute. So I'll take
Is
that.
there a substitute for the egg to make it vegan at the end?
Yes. So it might be too late. The barn already left the horse already left the barn for this one. But if you if you take canned chickpeas and drain the liquid from the canned chickpeas, you can blend that liquid. It's going to be about a half a cup of juice or a little less, maybe even a third of a cup. If you blend that up with a hand blender, it becomes foamy and thick, and it's called aquafaba. And people use aquafaba in place of an egg in all kinds of recipes. But for this recipe, we drained the juice from or the liquid from the chickpeas, so you can't really do that unless you have another can of chickpeas hanging around. You can use that. But that's what people use, professional vegan chefs. They use a lot of aquafaba, and it really whips up to stiff peaks. But we basically just want to beat it up, and then you could put the flour and lemon juice in it the same way. Okay, who asked that question? Can you tell me who asked the question?
Laura.
Okay, Laura. So I hope I answered your question, Laura.
And then will egg whites, could just egg whites work?
Yes, just egg whites can work.
And then for the
I would use aquafaba though before I use just egg whites.
And then for the quarantini, is there a substitute for gin?
Non-alcoholic or alcoholic? You can use any booze. I would use vodka. You know, that's a good one. You can also use.
You can use no alcohol.
You can use no alcohol. But yeah, vodka, any white liquid.
We have alcohol. Yes to vodka.
Right? Vodka works great. You know, I like that.
I would say any clear.
Any
alcohol.
clear alcohol, I think, would work. But that really just covers, you know, vodka. If you have vodka.
Vodka, gin. It would actually probably just go with tequila.
I don't know. I would say play around with it. You know what I mean?
Now's the time to do it.
Now's the time. We have all the time in the world.
I have a question. On the settings on the Instapot, should we use saute or
pressure cook?
Really?
Pressure cook. Are you cooking the whole soup or are you cooking?
Everything's. I don't need to pressure cook. I think I just need to.
I thought we're talking about the beans. I'm sorry.
My beans are already cooked.
Okay, so you're making your whole recipe in. Okay, saute mode. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go ahead, I'm listening.
Are we boiling or do we leave it at the
okay, so when it boils, mine just boiled, okay? I'm turning it down to medium low, okay? So I just turned it down, and here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna move my pot and show you the level that I'm at, okay? So Zoel, can you get a close-up?
I can try. Hold on. Does this thing come off?
What do you want to do? Get off the camera?
Hold on one sec.
Here.
I'll actually just leave it and then I'll move the
Yes,
stand.
just move the stand, please. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little complicated. But if you guys can see, medium, okay? I don't know. Does that work? Does everybody see?
It's kind of hard to see.
It's hard to
Will
see.
you lift up the grate?
Lift up the grate. Okay.
Yeah. So low.
Low. Medium. So this would be high, and I'm turning it down to about there, okay? So just so you could see for yourself where it is, okay? All right? Okay. So let's work on, it's on low, so it's at a gentle boil now, okay? Gentle boil, not roiling boil, very gentle. Okay, so our next recipe here, we'll start working on it. Everything in place, right? So I took out my blender. And the herbie stuff. Hold on one second. I'll just make
Still
room.
need this?
No. I'm gonna make some room for myself here. I have my Vitamix. You can use any blender as long as you just let it process for a while, okay? Hang on, let me just make this more comfortable for myself. Okay, there we go. Or maybe this way for you guys. Let's see. Okay, there we go. So have our blender, right? So everything's in place and it's already plugged in. We have a strainer and a cup, okay, and a measuring cup. You can put anything underneath, but we're gonna need to strain it at the very end, okay? Don't let it come over into the stove, okay? If it is, mine just has a little condensation, but turn it down a little bit. So I have a little bit of steam coming out of the end. So let's start. If you're handling turmeric and turmeric root, you're going to want a pair of these, okay? These are cooking gloves. Food handling gloves, whatever. But I call them cooking gloves when you're in the cooking class. Everybody puts these on and then they put their no-cut gloves on, right? Turmeric stains your hands, so you're gonna wanna do that if you don't mind, but you will literally have orange fingertips and palms if you don't peel them. So this is what turmeric root looks like, okay? We're gonna do 3.5 ounces. For me, I have 3 large pieces, but 6 small pieces will do, okay? And you're gonna wanna peel your turmeric root. When it's peeled, it looks like that. So I just use a vegetable peeler, and I go ahead and just peel using that. Be careful with the skins. It will turn, if you have a white sink, like a porcelain sink, it will stain your porcelain sink orange. No, 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 we don't want that. Yellow, orange, no. So be sure to just be careful with the shavings, the skin. It peels really easily, right? Comes off really easily.
Excuse me.
Chris Barton? Say again.
What happens if you don't have the turmeric stick?
If you don't have the turmeric root, then you're gonna use turmeric spice, okay? Just plain turmeric. And the recipe, let me just make sure I give you the right one for that, is 1 tablespoon of turmeric ground and 1 tablespoon of ginger ground, okay?
We have a follow-up. Can we just use our turmeric ginger spice? That's your spice, or are we doing all of that together?
No, so if you don't have the turmeric root, I'm gonna suggest this, nut milk. Do you guys have nut milk?
Yes.
So use any kind of nut milk, use a turmeric, and use a ginger. And the reason I say that with the honey, with a tablespoon of honey, and the reason why I say that is because the turmeric ginger spice has a bit of salt in it. And you don't, it tastes a little salty, and that's not the idea, right? Because there's no medium. So you just don't use that for this at all. You use the turmeric ginger in your soup though. So use it there. So
if we're choosing between coconut and almond milk, what would you recommend?
almond. I don't know. I think either one. I use oat. So Zoel just yelled out coconut, and I just said almond. Oat is great.
Okay, thank you.
That's what I use. Oh, thanks for the question. Okay, so did you guys hear that? So we're going to use, if you don't have turmeric root or ginger root, you're going to go ahead and you're going to use 1 tablespoon of turmeric ground, yay, 1 tablespoon of ginger, a tablespoon of honey, and half a cup of oat milk. Okay, that's what you're going to do for your shot. All right, so my turmeric is all peeled and ready to go, right? So the next thing we're going to do is ginger. So did you see my grapefruit spoon? I just had it around here. Can you grab it? So this is ginger root, and it's not the grapefruit spoon. And the ginger root you can peel with a vegetable peeler like this. Just peel all around. This. Yeah, thank you. Like this. Just peel it right down. Or my personal favorite way to use it is just take a vegetable, a grapefruit spoon just like this, and then scrape down. And it's a great way to peel your ginger. And then you can get into the little cracks and crevices where you normally wouldn't be able to get into. So let me show you how much we're using. This is 1.5 ounces of ginger. And I would say, if I were to look at it, it's about 2 to 2.5 tablespoons, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and peel my ginger, just scraping down, getting into the crooks and crevices. You can also not peel it because it's going in the blender, but I personally prefer to peel anything that I'm eating raw. especially these days. Okay? So here we go, we're peeling. Peeling. It's coming off really clean, okay? All right, almost there. Okay. It doesn't have to be perfect, you just want to get off most of the skin.
Can we ask a quick question?
Yes, quick question.
If you don't have any spice or any of your turmeric ginger spice for the soup, can dried ginger be substituted?
Yes. Is it ground ginger?
I would assume so.
Okay,
but
let's
I'm not
ask the
positive.
question back. Ground ginger is permitted.
So that's by Pamela.
Pamela. Yeah, ground ginger, yes. Okay, the other ingredients that go into this is honey. We have half a cup of runny honey, but any honey you have would work just fine. Just put it in a little warm water or use warm water, half a cup in with the honey, provided you can get it all into your blender, okay? What I do, I have a cute little trick for ginger. I really like to line whatever, for honey. I like to line whatever container I'm using for honey with a little spray of olive oil. That way it pours easily out of that container into the next container that I'm going to use. So I do that with my olive oil sprayer right here. I just spray a little bit in before I add in the honey, and then it'll roll right out, and we'll see how that happens. And usually a little bit less there's not a whole lot of scraping that you have to do. How am I doing? How's everybody out there? I'm looking at you on my screen down below. Is everybody okay? Any more questions? So the first thing we're going to do, this is my little scraper. This is like the most amazing little tool if you have a blender like this. Okay, so the first thing.
Sorry, Samantha, we missed on the soup how much ground ginger.
Okay, it's only, I think it's no ground ginger in the soup.
Oh,
No
well,
turmeric ginger?
Turmeric ginger spice, yes, but not.
Okay, but in your turmeric ginger spice, there's no ginger?
Just turmeric. Just put your turmeric. You could put ginger if you have it, but.
I just got confused because it says ginger turmeric. I mean.
Yeah, my spice blend is turmeric ginger, but if you don't have the turmeric ginger spice, you could just add turmeric.
Okay, and
if you have
I think
ginger,
she just has ginger.
Oh, if you just have ginger.
I have ground ginger. I have ground ginger.
Use a little bit of that. Just use half a teaspoon of that. Okay. Don't put too much. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I'm more concerned with the turmeric for the soup. Okay. Now don't blend it too much. You don't want this to get too hot. So we're starting right here with half a cup of water. And then you want to, I didn't say this before, but if your turmeric ginger pieces are big like mine, you're going to want to cut them, and I'm going to cut them. See my runny honey?
Do I make a note about the blender bowl being turned yellow?
Oh yeah.
Wash it fast after.
So your blender bowl will probably turn orange, but it's an easy fix. If you have alcohol at home, just spray it on the inside when you put it in the sink, and then it should all come clean, okay? Just a note about working with turmeric, it's very strong. Do you have a question?
Yeah, but we don't have any turmeric ginger, so what do we do?
We can find any turmeric spice.
Oh.
So we're just wondering if you have any advice for us.
You can be special and you can use the turmeric, but use a little less, okay? And it'll be more like a beverage rather than an elixir, okay? So how about a half a tablespoon rather than a tablespoon of just turmeric ginger in your nut milk with a little honey, okay? I would start with 2 teaspoons of honey, not more than that. Teaspoons, small amount, okay? Because the oat milk probably has a little sugar in it already, okay?
Thank you.
All righty, you're welcome. Okay, I'm just cutting my turmeric into little chunks here. Oopsie, I dropped it. Here we go. So I got my turmeric in, got my ginger in. How many people are doing this one along? Yay! Yay! Okay, and then we're gonna put in a little bit of black pepper. Black pepper really helps turmeric go right into your system. So the black pepper is good and it actually tastes good. And then I have a little bit of turmeric ginger spice there. I have 1 teaspoon. It's about 1 teaspoon right there. Then we're gonna cover it. And pardon, yeah?
I have a question. So if
Who's
you,
this?
this is Wendy Schoen.
Hi, Wendy.
So if you don't have the special turmeric ginger spice, but we have I have ground ginger and ground turmeric. What?
Yes, 1 tablespoon of each.
So even though there's only 1 teaspoon of your special spice, you want 2 tablespoons total of the other things?
Yes, because we are doing real turmeric along with my spice. So that real turmeric is substituting for a turmeric flavor, right?
Well, I have the real turmeric.
Yes, you're going to want to use that. So don't use, so what you're going to want to use is turmeric, 1 tablespoon of ground turmeric, 1 tablespoon of ground ginger. You're going to use honey and the nut milk, okay? You don't have turmeric root?
No, I do have turmeric root. I put turmeric root and ginger root and honey and water, but I don't have that special spice, the special turmeric ginger spice.
Yeah, okay, so just, you can use ground turmeric only, a teaspoon, I'm sorry.
No.
Oh.
She has turmeric root, she has ginger root, she has water, she has honey, she has everything.
But she doesn't have my turmeric ginger spice.
She's not.
Yes.
And I do have ground turmeric and I do have ground ginger. Should I use like half a teaspoon of turmeric?
Use a little bit. You really don't need that much of it because you already have the mixture in there. I would use a half a teaspoon of turmeric and a half a teaspoon of ginger, okay, in that case.
Okay. She has the root though.
Yes, I know. Yeah. So she has the root. So are you with me here, Wendy?
I'm with you. The only thing I didn't have was that special spice that.
Half a teaspoon. That's perfect. Half a teaspoon of ginger, half a teaspoon of turmeric root. Okay.
Thank you.
Do you want to make a note again about your spice and not use only the spice?
Okay. Put a note to the chat. Okay. All right. Are you ready? We're gonna pulse this now. I have mine on a smoothie setting, so it's gonna go for 3 minutes. Okay.
Question.
So I'm gonna mute myself when it goes. Ms. Letitia?
Yes, if we don't have the fresh turmeric and ginger, we're not using the spice, right? We're only using ground ginger, ground turmeric.
Ground ginger, ground turmeric, and a nut milk. Okay? Got it. So that's fine.
Thank you.
It's a little tricky because my spice has salt in it, and I don't want you to use tablespoons on tablespoons of it to a nut milk. It'll make it salty. Okay? But ground ginger is all good. Ready? So we're gonna do this and I'm gonna mute it for a second, okay? Okay, let's see if we can do that. Okay. So this is what I have, right?
Am I supposed to add the nut milk or is that optional?
Do you have the turmeric root?
Not the root.
Then you need a medium. So yes, you can do water, but I would go ahead.
Milk? How much nut milk?
Half a cup.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep. Thank
And
you.
you could always add a little bit more, okay? What we do now with our turmeric ginger elixir, we have, remember I showed you this earlier? This is our measuring cup and a little strainer. And we're gonna pour it right in because we wanna get rid of all of the extra. It's gonna be very different if you don't have turmeric ginger root, very light. And then I use a little spoon like this. There we go. Our soup is almost ready, at least mine is. Has anybody looked at their soup?
Excuse me, Mama.
Yeah, you have a question?
Yeah, but do we have to strain it if we didn't actually use the turmeric roots?
No.
Okay.
You can if you use the, but don't. You don't really have to. No. There's no. It's pretty watery. Wouldn't you think? But I'm straining it because I used it, and I'm pressing on the pulp to get it all out. Okay. And I want the people who followed me, who do have the root, and everyone really, let's taste it, okay? And then I'm gonna show you how, a few ways to use it. Okay, I think I got a good amount out. Now you could take shots of this in the morning, plain. People with the nut milk, you're just going to want to drink it as a beverage. It won't hold up as long in the refrigerator. This will last a week in the refrigerator. So every day you can just go in and take a nice shot of it. Okay. 2 ways, okay? A little shot glass. Pour a little in. It's my turmeric ginger shot, right? I should say cheers, but does everybody have, does anybody else have some? Cindy, you look like you're almost done with yours. Let's see. Oh, Sagan has his. Hold it up, Sagan.
I'm getting my shot glass.
Okay, get your shot glass. Who was that? I saw somebody else holding theirs up.
Wendy has hers.
Wendy has hers. Maria, I see Maria. Maria has hers. Pam has hers. Sandra has hers. Okay, so this morning was a little crazy. I was running out to my driveway every hour dropping bags of turmeric root. So thank you for coming and taking it off my hands. Ready? Everybody got their shots? 1, 2, 3. Take your shot. Oh, it's so
Cheers.
good.
Cheers.
Cheers. It was very gingery. Oh, God.
Oh.
Okay. The other way to use it, put it in a little orange juice in the morning. Orange juice, fruit juice, anything, okay, if it's too strong.
Cheers.
Cheers.
It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Rob.
Okay.
Cheers. Thank you, Samantha. Yum. Here's to you.
That's really
You
good.
like it?
Here's your health.
It's
Here's
delicious.
to your health.
I love
Okay, you have yours in
So
nut
yummy.
milk. Christine?
So yummy. Nah.
Yummy. Okay, great. Cheryl, I don't know if you did it, but all good. Okay, so that's our drink. So I wrote down a few ways you can use it. This pulp that we have here is gold, okay? Put it in a Ziploc, set it in your freezer. The next time you make ginger snap cookies, put it in your batter. It's amazing, and I show pictures in the recipe of me making oatmeal, at least making ginger snap cookies with that, and it was just really good to add the turmeric to it. It added a nice taste, and it was delicious. So we're not in the habit of wasting anything. So ways you're gonna do it, you're gonna add a shot to your morning citrus juice or smoothie. Add a shot to cold nut milk and froth for a turmeric ginger latte. I've made that, and it's been amazing also. And to save the pulp to use in ginger snap cookies. So Robin, I see you drinking water.
I have a question.
No, it's a real shot. What was that, Pam?
Oh, I have a question about, you're growing the turmeric, right?
Get it at Jimbo's.
Oh, okay, I thought you were growing it. I'm sorry.
No. I just happen to have a big sack of it. So, no, I mean, my life is crazy enough.
It is so good.
It's good, right?
So good.
So,
why do we have to strain it? What if we wanted all that roughage?
it's a little thicker, so you can do that, and you can put it in your. But for my purpose, when I was making it for a cocktail, I didn't want the roughage. Right? Okay, so we're finished with that. It's time for us to look at our.
One quick question.
Yeah.
If I have a can of Trader Joe's turkey chili with beans, could I add that to the soup if I want more beans? Or you think that's a bad idea?
What else is in it? What is there? There's a lot of stuff in that.
Dark turkey meat. It's got, tomatoes, green chilies, onions, etc.
So Christine, you will be making a soup, but it will not be like what we're all gonna eat.
Okay, never mind.
But it is fine if you want to go ahead.
Thanks.
Feel free. We can all do whatever we want here, but it probably won't taste the same. Okay. Okay, I'm back to my whole thing here. So I'm gonna move this here.
Amanda?
Yeah.
It's Cindy. I put when I strain the ginger root and I put it in the freezer, I sometimes put it in my smoothies.
Yes, because the pulp is so useful. And that's why we were saying, Robin was just asking too, why can't we just drink it,
Yeah.
I think you can. No harm in it, right? Okay, cilantro. My cilantro's already washed and ready to go, so everybody get that out. I'm gonna use about that much.
It's cilantro, so parsley dried?
Parsley and cilantro, okay?
Yeah, I don't have any cilantro, so parsley.
That's okay, just use parsley.
Just dried, I'll just wing it.
Yeah, don't worry about that. And then, remember what we have here? Can you pass me a fork, Zoe? We have our egg. Crack our egg into a bowl. If you're using chickpea, aquafaba, anything like that, you can always skip this part too. The soup is amazing without it. Or just skip the egg and add flour and water and a little lemon juice, okay? So the egg part is not necessarily a must, okay? Then I'm gonna add in the flour. It's 2 tablespoons. Mix it in really well. Try to make sure the lumps are out, okay? And then add in the lemon juice right here. Juliana just wrote, the questions are so adorable. I love all the questions. I love that you all are joining me here. This is like great that we could still cook together. And I'm looking forward to doing it again. Okay, let's go over to our stove here. Oh my goodness, looks great. Our lentils are cooked. If you have lentils, put them in right now. If you have grains that are already cooked, rice grains, farro, brown rice, anything like that, quinoa, now's the time to add it, okay? I'm gonna show you what my pot looks like, okay? Sorry, my counter is really messy right now. Okay, so here's what I look like. Yeah? So you see the lentils have popped up to the top? Chunks of carrots and chunks of celery. I'm gonna just taste my lentils to see if they're soft. They are. So the lentils are ready. So here's what we do. Does everybody have their egg and lemon juice mixture ready? Yeah? Ready? We just pour it in, okay? And stir. It's going to change the color of the soup to more of a lighter color. Looks good. Looking good. So you see the color shift? Color changed a bit. Okay. And then we add in our greens. Parsley. And you could save some of the parsley to add into the individual soup bowls at the end. Add salt and pepper to taste. Mine already doesn't need anything. I mean, between the salt in the Moroccan spice and in the turmeric ginger spice, I have enough salt, and the vegetable stock, I really don't need any more salt. 2 tablespoons of that lemon juice was enough for me, but you might want more, so that's why I put a 1/4 cup there. Let me show you what it looks like. My soup is ready. Moroccan spiced chickpea stew. Chickpeas are at the bottom. Yes. All right. So we learned how to saute the onions, carrots, celery, add in the spices, the Moroccan spice, the turmeric ginger. Some of your cases, we add in turmeric, coriander, and cumin in place. Then we added in the canned tomatoes. And then we added in the lentils and chickpeas in stock. And we let that cook up quite a bit, bubble. And then we turned the stove down to low and let it boil and the lentils to cook, okay? And then at the end, we added in our egg, flour, and lemon juice mixture. And then we put it in our soup and added in the fresh herbs, cilantro and parsley. So that is our soup. My soup tastes amazing. I hope yours does too. It's our dinner tonight, so I'm pretty excited. Now, I want to tell you something. If you want to augment the soup a little bit, you can saute chicken sausages and put them in at this point. Saute them on the side. If you want to fry an egg and put it on top of each one of your soup bowls, you can also do that. That's a great way to augment it. Or you could just add any meat you want to it at this point, you know, already cooked, not raw, okay, because the soup is done. But you don't want to cook sausage or anything in it while it's cooking because it will blast out all of the flavor. So it's best to cook the sausages or egg, everything on the side, put it on when you plate it, okay? So does anyone have any more questions?
I do.
Okay, Pam.
So I don't know if I didn't blend the flour and egg mixture enough, but it almost looks like egg drop soup. So it's kind of like my egg is kind of like
coagulating. Yeah, the lemon juice should have been able to make that not happen.
If the stove was too hot.
Yeah, or the stove could have been too hot. I don't think that's it though, but just it's okay. It'll taste just fine.
It's fine. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I beat mine really good. Did you notice I didn't have that?
I got my scrambled eggs too.
Yeah. You got scrambled eggs too? Yeah. Look at mine.
I think you just.
Mine was like that too. It was like the flour was all lumpy.
Yeah, you have to beat it really well, okay? Did you see I really vigorously beat it up so that it was really, and then I slowly poured it in. But that's okay. It'll still taste amazing. Just keep stirring it and they will diminish, okay?
It is.
The more it cooks, it'll diminish.
Bam.
Yeah, just keep stirring.
Samantha.
Hi, Linda.
Cindy.
Cindy.
Can I give a tip so they don't get scrambled eggs?
Yeah.
Temper their eggs before they put it in the pot.
Oh, if you have cold eggs.
If you have really cold eggs, mine are from my chickens, so they're room temperature.
No, it was room temperature.
If they put a little bit of hot soup in the egg on the side in a bowl first before they dump it in, they won't scramble.
No, it was sitting for all day, sitting
Oh,
there.
so, but Cindy had a good point. She said just to take a little broth from the soup and put it in the egg and flour mixture and beat it up there and then pour it back into the soup.
Good one. Thank
So
you.
just try, yeah, that's a really good idea actually. So just try that, that'll help. But you know, you will notice that scrambled egg look diminishing, okay?
Yeah, it's not that bad.
No, and it's one egg. How does it taste?
Good.
Very good.
Sandra, that's great. And who else? So I'm gonna open it up now to any last minute questions, and then I think we're finished with our cooking class, our first one.
Hey.
Yay.
Wonderful.
Thank you. That was awesome.
Hey, thank you, Sam.
Thank you. Any questions before I go?
No, thank you. That was awesome.
Okay, so if I did another one, would you come back?
One last question.
Yes, would you?
Thank you, Sam. Thank you so much.
One last question.
One last question. Hang on.
If we don't have flour handy and I've got the egg and the lemon, is there anything else like another substitute?
Cornstarch, arrowroot flour, okay?
Great.
Chickpea flour, any kind of grain that, okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all for joining me. This was so much fun, and I'll let you know if I'll do another one next week, okay?
Yes. Yay, that would be great.
All right, everyone. Bye.
Sam.
Bye, Sam.
Bye, Sam. I love being quarantined.
Thank
you.
you. Bye, Robin. Bye, Christine. Bye, Amy.
Bye.
Let's see who else I have here.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Mom.
Thank you, everybody. Sam, you're the best.
Oh, I love you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Take care,
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Oh, no.
Hi. Bye-bye.
Thanks so much. Sam, are you
You're
there?
so welcome. You take care, Cheryl. Amy?
Will you email us what else to do with the turmeric? The left.
I actually sent it already in
We
the
sent-
chat.
we sent
Tell her
it in
to
the chat.
Scroll up.
Scroll up in the chat. Okay, bye, Cindy.
Bye.
Bye, Mom. Bye,
Bye,
Sandra. Bye,
Sarah.
Carrie Ann. Bye, Pam.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye,
Sam,
Mama. Bye.
Sam, Sam, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm dropping something by your house, by your gate.
Okay, no worries.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so
Thank you,
much,
Sam.
sweetheart. I appreciate it. Have a good night and happy cooking.
We'll toast to you with turmeric. Just look.
The healthy
Bye-bye.
stuff.
Bye-bye.
Bye.